Hello everyone, you're welcome to my Professor Note. This is Pupesh and this is our second part of the Elizabethan age class. Here we are covering the University Wits. So after going through the several previous years question paper, I have embedded this data here on the slide, which is very important to know from our examination perspective. At the end of these slides, I have also mentioned the MCQs on all of these University Wits. Most of the time, the kind of questions that we find from the University Wits are based mainly on the names of the members. That how many University Wits were there, what were their name. Most of the time, this is the question we get to see. The next type of question is we get to see on the plays, their works, right? And the most famous playwrights from the University Wits we have here is the Thomas Kidd and the Christopher Marlowe, right? So let's start. University Wits. So University Wits, this term was coined by the George Sainsbury. The moment these University Wits were there, this term did not existed. It came way later in the early 20th century, coined by the Saint Bury in his book called The History of English Prosody, published in the 1906. Right? The dates are quite important these days, right? So you have to remember the dates as well. And how to remember your dates? By writing them again and again. Now here we have your University Wits, and I have developed a mnemonic. एक तरह से जैसे आप कोई स्टोरी लाइन क्रिएट करते हो ना अपने कैरेक्टर्स को रिमेंबर करने के लिए, मैंने उसी तरह से एक स्टोरी लाइन आपकी क्रिएट की है इसके लिए. We have here Christopher Marlowe, we have here Nash, we have here Green, Lodge, Lilly, Pillay, and your Kidd. So Kidd is one of the playwrights of the University Wits who did not visit the university. Only 6 of them visited the university here. So I have created this mnemonic. Very funny, right? Christopher Marlowe नशे में लॉज में गए अपने किड से मिलने. ग्रीन पैकेट में पीले रंग की लिली लेके. क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो नशे में लॉज में गए ग्रीन पैकेट में पीले रंग की लिली लेके अपने किड से मिलने. ठीक है, आपको याद रह जाएगा. एक तरह की स्टोरी हमने बना दी, इसे ही नेमोनिक कहते हैं. दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल नेमोनिक्स. ठीक है. सो थॉमस किड इज वन ऑफ द प्लेराइट हु डिड नॉट गो टू द यूनिवर्सिटी. Mostly they were writing about the heroic themes. Their style was heroic, and they were writing about the political matters of their time. They were involved in the political, conspiracies more. Most of them imprisoned. Most of them died early in their very young age, like Christopher Marlowe, right? He died in a fight in a pub, right? So this is how their lives ended. A very short period of time they had to write their works. Okay, तो ये एक subjective सा overview आपको हो गया. Now you got to know that who were University Wits, what they were writing, what they were doing. They were from the universities mainly, इसीलिए उन्हें University Wits भी कहा जाता है. Wit है आपकी intelligence, ठीक है, कि आप कितने witty हो. ठीक है. क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो, ग्रीन एंड नैश. ठीक है. क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो नशे में जो ग्रीन पैकेट ले गया था, वो कहां से था? वो कैम्ब्रिज से था. आप इसको इस तरह से याद रख सकते हो. हमें अपने निमोनिक्स जो है क्रिएट करने पड़ते हैं. यही तो क्रिएटिविटी है. इसके अलावा तो हर एक चीज बुक में दी हुई है, फिर हम नया डेवलप कर क्या रहे हैं, है ना? सो वी हैव टू क्रिएट समथिंग आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स. वी हैव टू यूज अवर क्रिएटिविटी. ठीक है. नाउ अनदर वन वी हैव हियर लिली. अब जिस पीले रंग की लिली को लॉज में ले गए थे, वो लाई गई थी ऑक्सफोर्ड से. इस तरह से हम इसे भी याद रखते हैं. ठीक है, क्योंकि शायद कई बार आपको याद ना रहे कि कौन जो है आपके कैम्ब्रिज से थे, कौन ऑक्सफोर्ड से थे, तो ये कुछ फनी से वेज होते हैं. ठीक है, इवन दो आफ्टर रिपीटिंग रिवाइजिंग अगेन एंड अगेन वी कैन जस्ट रिमेंबर एनीथिंग, बट These are the few tips and tricks that I am giving you. और एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज, अब इन्होंने जो प्लेज लिखे, स्टार्टिंग तो आपके गॉर्बेटक से हो गई थी, ट्रेजेडी हुई थी, हमने देखा था मेडिवल एज में, उस ट्रेजेडी को ब्लैंक वर्स में लिखा गया था, and mostly in the Elizabethan age again the blank verse came into predominance. The most of the plays were written in the blank verse only. Blank verse is written in the iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter. Pentameters have 5 meter. Pentameters have 5 feet, right? 5 feet. Each feet have 2 syllables. 2 syllable means 2 sounds. 2 sounds. Your pentameter means 5 feet. 5 feet means 2 syllable, and each syllable has a 2 sounds. Syllable means your vowel sounds, right? So in iambic pentameter, iambic means where your first sound is weak or unstressed, we can say, or another sound which follows the first one is the strong or louder, right? For example, we have guitar. For example, we have guitar. Gi is not a where a vowel can pronounce is complete sound. That is called the strong vowel. That is called the strong syllable. Where a vowel cannot come out with its complete sound, it is called the weak syllable. So gi, here I is unable to come out with its complete I sound. Then which one is here coming with the complete sound? It is a tar. A is able to come here with its complete sound. It is called gi, a tar. A is a complete sound here, right? So this is what makes it strong, and this is what makes it weak. Where vowel is not pronounced to its full sound, it's called the weak sound. Where vowel is pronounced to its complete sound, it's called the strong syllable, right? That's what it means. Now let's move further. Okay, so here we have John Lilly. John Lilly is called the master and the head of the University Wits. That's the reason we put him on front, on the first place. Hudson call him the Hudson is also the book of your British literature, history of British literature. There, the Hudson, this writer says that he is a master of Shakespeare. How? Because Lilly has written very humorous, right? Very humorous writings he had. He has written the romantic prose, and the same writing can be traced in Shakespeare's plays. So that is the reason he is called the first master of Shakespeare. His most famous work is the Euphues, the Anatomy of Wit, 1578, and another one is the its sequence, which came in the 1580. Right? Okay, and this is what you have to remember. And most of the time, these are the two questions which are formed. Right? You have to know his work's date and what work he has written. What does Euphues means? It is a very refined way of talking. Right? That's what your Euphues means. Very rhetorical way of communication. Then we have the George Pille, another one. So he has written a play called The Old Wives, right? And it is the first English work where where anyone ever has styrized the romantic drama. Play has a play within it. There, in this play called The Old Wives, we have a play within a play, and it has influenced the Shakespeare's Winter Tale, and also led to have collaborated with Shakespeare on his play Titus and Andronicus. Right? It is being said that George Pille wrote the play called Titus and Andronicus with the Shakespeare. Then we have his mostly anthologized work, A Farewell to Arms, which is also the name of the novel by the Ernest Hemingway. When this novel is written, let me know in the comment section below. Please do write the date of its publication. No, this is obviously not just anything coming. Made his debut with the arrangement of the Paris. This is the very first play written by the George Pille, right? So you got to know that what you have to remember here, the name of these university wits and the plays that they have written, right? Then we have the Robert Greene is the third one, very famous writer. He is called the Stephen King of the Elizabethan age. He was a very prolific writer, right? And he is called the first one who introduced the imaginary situation in his plays. Then we have here another place which he has written, which is the James 4. We have Friar Bacon and Friar Bungay. We have the Grotsworth of Wit. It was a pamphlet where he has starred as the Shakespeare. How we got to know this? Because there is a term called the shake scene, right? What he said, what he called him, that Shakespeare is a crow who is feathered with our wings. This is how he addressed him in his pamphlet. Now we have another playwright here of the University Wits time, whose name is the Thomas Nash, famously known for his Unfortunate Traveler, which is the picaresque novel. Picaresque novel. What is picaresque novel? Let me know in the comment section below. And its subtitle is The Life of Jack Wilton, considered the forerunner of the contemporary novel form. The novel that is being written today, it is being said that it is the first novel, right, that ever came into existence, that ever was written. Today the novels that we have, its first form was Unfortunate Traveler. In this novel, our contemporary novel's first form can be seen. That's how our novel was at the very beginning, right? So this novel is called the predecessor. He is called the first novelist, right, as well, to start writing the novel, right? So what you have to remember here is the is subtitle as well. It is a very important detail, okay, that you have to note down. Now the second point here is that his only play that we have today, this is a novel, or you can call it a prose work, right? A kind of, it was not a complete novel, that's why it is called a forerunner, right? it was it was just the beginning of the novel writing. So his play is A Summer's Last Will and Testament. That's the play written by the Thomas Nash that time. And this is the only surviving play we have today. He was imprisoned to write the satirical play called the Christ's Tears over Jerusalem. It was a religious tract, right, where you're writing about religion, and for that he was imprisoned. And Shakespeare was watching all of this very closely, and that's why he distanced himself from any of these conspiracies. And you will find that towards the very end of his career, he start making the imaginary locations the setting of his plays, you know, in order to be away from all of these conspiracies. Now we have the Thomas Kid, the one who is very famous, and most of the time what we have seen here, the one who does not go to any educational institutions, those are the one who are very famous, right? I mean, those are the one who writing really well because their mind are not controlled by the knowledge which is provided by the institution. They are one who is exploring on their own, right? And do let me know in the comment section, what do we call that form of learning where we teach ourselves? It mostly come in the adult learning, right? Non-formal education is one of the term, but it has a very specific term. So he's very famous for his Spanish tragedy. I know most of you thinking, sir, please provide their complete summaries and all that. So, you know, that will be only possible when I'll be dealing with each and every play. because then you have to go very deep, because all of these plays are very important. At least you are getting a perspective that what is important, what is not important. So now you will be going directly to these plays, right? And besides, if you want to cover any of these plays, just the whole syllabus, I'm providing you exam oriented study material and a complete mentorship program, right? And you will get chance to prepare for your UGC NET examination with me, a JRF qualified tutor and a mentor, right? So if you want to get access to my study material, so you can just 962510149, you can contact us on this number. You can WhatsApp and call us. All right. So now let's move further. Now Spanish tragedy is the first one who initiated this revenge tradition, and beside it was influenced by the Seneca tragedy. So Seneca was your ancient playwright, ancient Greek or Italian playwright. I'm just missing that from which country he was from, either from Rome or Greek, from one of these, right? So he was the main influence for all of these tragedies. So so what makes it Senecan? We have bloodshed, we have bloodshed, right? We have violence, we have passion, right? So all of these are the characteristics. We have a chorus as well. We are being informed through the chorus at the very beginning. There are a group of people who are singing the chorus and trying to provide us the information that what is happening in the play, right? So all of these are the characteristics of the Senecan tragedies. Then we have the Thomas Lodge, least important, famously known for his very aggressive, vehement response to the Stephen Goson's school of abuse. To this same pamphlet, our Philip Sidney has also replied, right, through his defense of poesy. Okay, another work is the Rosalind Euphues Golden Legacy. This is how were your spellings earlier. ठीक है, तो second play Thomas Lodge का ये है. Beside this, he has written a play in collaboration with the Robert Greene, a play called A Looking Glass for London and England 1594. Then he had already written The Wounds of Civil War. This is another work of the Thomas Lodge. So you have to remember that, because most of the time you get the matching the pair. Most of the time you will be getting the put them chronologically, right? Put them chronologically, right? So these are the kind of question that you are being asked most of the time. Then we have the final, last but not the least, Christopher Marlowe, ladies and gentlemen. He was attached to this Lord Admiral players, right? So this was the company, right? The theater company, Lord Admiral's players. So he used to write plays for them, right? And he was killed in a brawl in a tavern, in a pub, born in the 1564, the same year your Shakespeare was born. And that is the reason that there is still a debate going on that Christopher Marlowe is Shakespeare or Shakespeare is a Christopher Marlowe, right? And they both had a great writing skills. So that is the another thing which makes this debate, never ending. He was killed in a brawl. We have discussed. He was merely 29 years of age, and he died in the 1593. Right. Now let's come, after knowing his very personal details. He was very flamboyant as well. He used to wear a lot of jewelry. He used to wear very rich clothing. So these are some of the very personal details about Marlowe. Then we comes to his plays, right? Marlowe's plays. So the great play, the very first play that he has written was the Tamburlaine. Remember his publishing dates. Written in the two parts, part 1 and part 2. The first part, he is a shepherd. Another part, he is the prince of Persia. And every single character of Marlowe are after something. They are trying to gain something. Here he is thirsty. Here his character is thirsty to get the power to rule the world. It talks about the rise of shepherd to generalship and how the same person goes on to command the entire Mongol empire from shepherd to becoming the emperor of Mongol. Right? Then we have the Jew of Malta. He has his insatiable hunger for the money, for the wealth. He's greedy. And this play explores the theme of religious intolerance. Here the Jew of Malta means Jewish, right? Here this play was criticized for showing, to be very partial about the religion, and unnecessarily lot of pain was inflicted on this character, on this Jewish character, because there is always a conflict between the Christian and Jewish, so this is how they have showed this Jew of Malta. He was given a very bad picture. His stature was not of any good kind, not of any standard. They have shown him as a greedy merchant whose thirst for wealth was quenched only with his death in the hot cauldron. एक गर्म पानी का कड़ाहा जिसे हम कहते हैं, एक गर्म पानी की बड़ी कड़ाही जिसमें कि वो ऑटमन एम्पायर के किंग को डालना चाहता था. Himself he fell into it, and this is how he died. So at the end, he has done the justice, right? All of his characters are punished for doing the wrong, right? So they are also moralistic, we could say, right? Didactic. They teach us something. Published in the 1590. Then we have the third one is the Dr. Faustus. This is the last one. That's why I didn't touch this. But since I have mentioned it, what's the reason in discussing it in sequence then? Edward II, 1594, is perhaps the first ever play to explore the dramatic tension between duty and desire. It talks about the theme of homosexuality. Edward having a homosexual affair. With whom in the play? Let me know in the comment section below, because I want you to be involved into this. You must be engaged. If you're not, then it makes no sense, right? Maybe you be thinking, you can be thinking that we can get these details, we will just check out the PDF, but no, it is not that. You might forget it. So you must be engaged in this process of learning. Only then you will be able to remember it. All right, let's move further. So this is what your Edward II is. Okay, 1594, and you must read their summaries either from Wikipedia, or if you are getting access to our study material, then there is no need to go through them. Now another one is your Dr. Faustus, which was published in the 1592. Play talks about the man having thirst for demonic power and more knowledge, and fulfill the purpose, sold out his soul to the Lucifer. So Dr. Faustus is a play which is influenced by the German writer, right? Faustus, right? And the same character was there in the play. Okay, so it is just we can call the sequel of that, right? So what happens in this play? There's this character called the Dr. Faustus, who has the insatiable hunger to learn more and more, to know more and more, and now he learned the black magic, and for that to do just anything, whatever he wants to do, just just becoming invisible and just slapping anyone, eating anything, just entering someone's rooms, Harlem's secret doors, and then just spying on people. He is invisible, nobody can look at him, so he want to enjoy all of these frivolous things, and for that he sold his soul to Lucifer for 24 years, and at the end he is condemned to hell. That's what happened to him. Now another important play is Dido, Queen of Carthage, 1593. Most importantly, remember the dates. Now another important thing here is that it was influenced by the Virgil's Aeneid. A primary source was first, second, and fourth book of Virgil's Aeneid. Now, the story focuses on the classical figure of Dido, the queen of Carthage. It tells an intense dramatic tale of Dido and her fanatical love for Aeneas. Now, Aeneas did what? He betrayed Dido. And when he left to Italy, when he left for Italy, she committed suicide because he betrayed her, right? That's what he did. So we should not betray our lovers. We must be, we should remain honest, right? We should maintain the degree of the relationship, right? Yeah. So now here we have the poem becoming very didactic, giving you lessons. Okay. Hero and Leander is the poem, published in the 1598, revolves around the Greek myth. So it is based on this Greek myth. Because yeah, Christopher Marlowe died earlier, so then it was completed by the George Chapman. This is a little epic, which is also known as a epyllion. So, in which form this poem is written? Epyllion form. There will be a question as well. Now we will be doing the, very soon we will be doing the MCQs. So keep remembering these details as well. Few other facts. Most of the drama was written in the blank verse. During this time, as I said, Gorboduc was the first one which started this tradition of writing in blank verse, right? Now, now we have most of the University Wits, but who is the one who wrote till the 1599 is Thomas Nash, right? I got confused with some details, so that's why. Okay, yeah. All right, I got it. Yeah, this information I had earlier shared also with you, that they were involved in the political conspiracies, right? And the Shakespeare had his lesson after seeing them getting imprisoned, so he did not get involved in any of these. That's why you will see that his plays, even though his history plays about your Richard II, Richard III, and the Henry IV, the very first of the Tudor dynasties, he didn't discuss any of the contemporary king or queen or earl, because he knew what would be its consequences then, right? As most of these university wits died earlier in their life, very early phase of their life, Thomas Nash is the only one who wrote till the 1599. Beside this, most of them, their career was just finished around 1593 or 1594, and now the stage was ready for the Shakespeare. University wits also called the launching pad for the Shakespeare's career. Now we have the MCQs, the most interesting part. Alright, so let's start with it. The first one, who among Shakespeare's contemporaries did not write tragedies? Who did not write tragedies? John Lilly, we said that he was a humorist. It was an easy guess for all of us. So, he's the one who did not write the tragedies. What he wrote? Romantic prose, Euphues, the anatomy of wit. After Shakespeare made his debut as a London playwright, he was described as an upstart crow by, who called him upstart crow? Robert Greene, Thomas Lodge, Christopher Marlowe. Unnecessarily you are going far away. It was Robert Greene, we all know. Thomas Nash, The Unfortunate Traveller, is narrated by, I think that this novel was written in 1594. If I'm right, please let me know in the comment section below. All right, so who narrated that? Ben Litte, Peter Marston, Jack Wilton, Philip Fox. If you remember, its subtitle was The Jack Wilton, Unfortunate Traveller, The Travels of Jack Wilton, right? So Jack Wilton is the protagonist of this novel. So obviously, he is the one who has narrated this novel. Now, let's move further. Thomas Kyd, the Spanish tragedy, was influenced by Seneca, Tertullian, Virgil, or Plutus. Plautus. It was Seneca, obviously. Now, Tertullian and Plautus had influenced the comedies of that era, and Virgil had influenced the poetry. Now, Anthony Burgess' novel published in 1993 is called A Dead Man in Deptford, who is the central character to whom the title refers. So if you have been through this novel, this is a very important one in the postmodern uh, England, written in the 1993 by the Anthony Burgess, right? So I wanted to go through this novel, read its introduction at least, even though I have discussed this in the study material. But if you will not be referring to that, so please read its introduction part on Wikipedia. So here he had discussed about the Christopher Marlowe is a very important character here. Now another question. Christopher Marlowe's heroes are said to be larger than life, exaggerated both in their faults and in their qualities. They have a desire for everything in extreme. In one of his plays, the hero wants to conquer the whole world. Obviously, you got it. Who was crazy after power? Who wanted to gain the power? Tamburlaine, right? It was Tamburlaine. So the answer is 3 here. Now, Christopher Marlowe was one of the first major playwriters to affirm what can be identified as homosexual, clearly as a homosexual sensibility. Which drama of his deals with it? It was Edward II. We have discussed this. Written in the, it was performed in 1597, posthumously, obviously. Now, we have the second last question here. Christopher Marlowe wrote all the following plays except. He wrote The Tamburlaine the Great, he wrote Jew of the Malta, he wrote Edward II, Richard III is not written by Christopher Marlowe. Then who has written the Richard III? Please let me know in the comment section below. Now, which of the following statement about Christopher Marlowe are true? Edward II was written in the last year of Marlowe's life, obviously. That's true. Many critics consider Christopher Dr. Foster to be Marlowe's best play. Maybe. His Spanish tragedy comes a close second. Obviously, he has not written Spanish tragedy. Marlowe was less educated than Shakespeare. No. So what is true here? First and second, obviously, right? So we will go with the first one. Now, here comes the, okay, one more question left. Which among the following plays by Christopher Marlowe has epic feature? Which one has the epic feature? As we discussed earlier, the most epic work he has written is the Tamburlaine, right? In the two part, in the first part, he is the Scythian shepherd. In the another part, he is a prince of Persia, or king of Persia, sorry, not the prince. The immediate source of Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus is French narrative, Dutch narrative, German narrative, or none of these. Which one? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, this one, you have to tell me in the comment section below. How? I'm giving it a number. Its number is 12. Right? 12 and the option. Right? Now, there is a play on the name of Machiavelli in the prologue to Christopher Marlowe. The greedy character. Who was that? Oh, I have also given the answer here. The Jew of Malta, obviously. The answer is given here. Okay. Marlowe's first original work was Tamburlaine the Great. We have, I don't think so that we have to go through all the options since we have just read all of these, characters or all of these plays of him. This is just for that you do not forget any of these details, and I can let you know that what is important, what is asked in the paper. Who among the following Marlovian character is consumed by greed? Barbus, Tamburlaine, Dr. Faustus, and Mephistopheles. Who is consumed by greed? Barbus. Barbus, Jew of Malta. He is the Jew of Malta. Who is Jew of Malta? The Barbus is the Jew of Malta. Now, last question. The hero of Marlowe's Tamburlaine was born as a carpenter, goldsmith, shepherd, and fisherman. Which one is correct here? The shepherd. Very good. You answered all the questions. Thank you so much. You will surely crack this examination. Now we will move further and I'll be making a PPT video again on the Shakespeare. Alright. And then soon we will think about taking the live classes as well. Alright. So do well, study well, revise everything, and I will also be uploading this PPT on this PDF on our Telegram channel. So do join us there. Thanks for watching.